Hello YouTube, this is your friendly neighborhood Spidey Wing. Today we're reviewing something completely different than anything else I've been doing to date. The SH Figuarts Masked Rider Decade Violent Emotion Pack. Let me get this out of the way first. I'm going to be referring to him as Fury Form for the rest of the review, mainly because I like the name Fury Form better over Violent Emotion. That's just my opinion though. Your mileage will vary. So, now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to talk about the package for a minute, which I like a lot. I mean, just the contrast pinkish magenta with the black and gray scale on the front and sides is wonderful. And of course, you get the wonderful Masked Rider Decade on here. Sorry. The back, you get a few glory shots of Decade in Fury form, along with, and let me... Come on. Please autofocus here. I guess I don't have anything fancy like that. Oh well. As you can see here, you get Fury Form's helmet here and regular Decade's helmet here. Along with just a few poses of him with the sword or fighting barehanded. Everything else is pretty much just, stock footage. So let me give me just a sec to pull this guy out of the package again, and I can start showing him off in poses and whatnot. Okay, here's Decade out of the packaging, and with the aid of a little extra light, you can see he is a very pinkish shade. Part of Decade's theme is the CYK color model, and Decade represents magenta in that. Some of the other major riders in that show, D and Rising Ultimate Kuga, represent the other major colors in that area. So, yeah, he's very pink, with lots of white and black. I happen to really like this suit design, though. Also, Decade's for the first rider series I've seen all the way through, so I wanted at least something from it. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to talk about the posability, because this figure has everything I wish a Power Rangers action figure had. What's the way Internet Personality Evangelist puts it? Double jointed everything, triple jointed everything else. You know, for example, just the shoulder here, for example. Rotating ball joint inside the shoulder, and then right here, you've got a universal joint on the on the outer part of the shoulder. And of course, the shoulder armor is on this wonderful hinge that actually stays in place. The wrist joints are nice. The hands are just attached with a ball and socket joint, see? So they've got wonderful mobility. But the wrists themselves are on a little swivel joint. See? Before. After. You can bend them up and down. So, not only is it extremely easy to do something like, say, change hands. See? You can also pose the hands in any way you want. The torso joint is ball jointed at the top and the bottom. And while I do kind of wish they had some more waist mobility, in its own way it's very natural. Excuse me, I've had something in my throat all day. The head joint though is awesome. You get a ball joint down here at the bottom of it and at the top. So you can really do some cool stuff with it and do some wonderful poses, which I'm going to show off a little later on because I want to go ahead and cover the accessories that you get with them. And you get a... Sorry, I tapped my camera. But you get a lot of accessories with Decade. For example, you get both of the major forms of the ride Booker in weapon mode. You can see gun mode up here and the sword mode down here. You also get it in Booker mode, which I had on his waist. You also get a regular Decade head, which kind of makes you feel better about all this Final Form rides, huh? But it's easy enough to switch out. You just pull off the old head, pop on the new one, and you have regular Decade. Which, I'll admit, this is how I normally display them or mess with them as a toy. So, yeah. In terms of hands, though, you get... and I'm going to refer to these in the same way that Evangelist does, so my apologies to him for stealing his shtick. But you get holding things hands, splayed open hands. See? And you get card-holding hands, too. This is because the original Decade came with cards, and this Decade doesn't. Yeah, I don't know either. But most importantly of all, you get the hand that makes Decade. Thank you. It is the hand that... Wait. Wrong show. Sorry. Sorry. Wrong show. Wrong writer. I have no idea where that came from. Yeah, you get a wonderful assortment of hands for this Decade. Sudden cut. Sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, you get a lot of hands with Decade, and so you can actually really come off with some wonderful kind of signature poses for him. For example, you can do the whole, drawing his hand across the blade thing, which really, this is one of my favorite poses to put him in. But, and this is the real test of any action figure for a Kamen Rider, at least for me, it's how well he can pull off a rider kick, and Decade does it wonderfully. In fact, let's compare it to another rider figure I have, Dragonite. Yeah, I'm gonna get into this guy eventually, hopefully, but just for comparison's sake, this is the best kick pose I can get him in. This versus this. Yeah, there's kind of no contest. Also, and just in terms of the holding things hand, since I've got his right hand on him right now, he can accept a wide variety of accessories. For example, you can have him dual wield the White Ranger's Sama. In this case, this is a Super Legends White Ranger, and the Ride Booker. Or, with just a little bit of reworking for that, you can have him dual wield the Dragon Dagger and his Ride Booker. Or, what you can also do is have him still, dual wielding, wield gun and dagger, but you can have him crouch. Yes, he can actually crouch. Let's see if I can actually get him to stand. I didn't have troubles getting getting figures to crouch well. Success. See? No hands, and he is crouching. That is awesome. Figuarts are just wonderfully balanced. I think it has something to do with the fact that these feet here, solid freaking die cast. Die cast. It's a lost art. Anyway, back to the posing ideas. Final attack. Ride. Did it, kid? Okay, yeah, sorry. I couldn't resist just throwing out a random Deca Driver impression. Okay, my apologies. But, since I gotta finish it through... Yes, I just had him Dimension kick Lord Zed. And there's nothing about that, at least in my opinion, is not awesome. Now, I'm gonna show off a little bit of... Since I have Super Legends nearby, I'm gonna show off some size comparisons. So, give me just a sec. There. Now, as you can see now, I've actually piled up quite a few figures representing a good assortment of toy lines. To represent the Jungle Fury kind of heights for figures, I've got here in the back, Super Legends White and Green Rangers. Right here, right about in the middle position, to represent RPM, the Super Legends Green Samurai Ranger. Here on the side, just because I want to show them off, Automorph and Tommy. And down here at the bottom, to represent the, well, the only other non-SH Figuarts Kamen Rider toys I have, Dragonite. Okay, so, as you can see, Decade actually looks best when he's sized up with, say, the,